What's up, people? Hello, welcome back. My name is still Eric, and I am still on my road trip. I am currently in Yunnan province. I've been driving for, I guess it's day 8 by now. I spent a couple days, a day and a half in Sichuan in Yunnan, but mostly I've just been driving, spend a few hours here and there, and just, oh my god, holy crap, and just checking out China. That was a huge pothole, holy shit. So that sucked. So I'm in Yunnan province, like I said, and I'm heading to Dali. Dali is a beautiful old town. It's very cold. It's 4 degrees right now, so I'm not getting great range, but that's okay. It's pretty impressive how many EV chargers are around, even in rural, very out of the way China. So I guess back up a little bit. If you don't know where Yunnan is, it's far southwest China, bordering with Myanmar and Thailand, or not Thailand, and Vietnam. Very close to Thailand, but there's a little bit of land between the countries, but bordering Myanmar and Vietnam down in the southwest part, and up in the northwest part of Yunnan. I think it borders some other countries. I'm sure it does. It must. Up in the northwestern part, you'll also find like it borders Sichuan and Tibet, or at least Tibetan Sichuan. I'm obviously not up to date with my map and my geography, which is sad because I study geography. But okay, so let's keep going. I figured I would film again because some people seem to like it, and hopefully I'm sitting a little bit lower today so you can see more. But I was thinking to film right now, right here, because this reminded me of a story from a long time ago when I was in China, and also in Yunnan, probably 2016, I would guess. So I was in this same part of China, same part of Yunnan. I was in a city called Lincang, which is like to the west, closer to Myanmar a little bit, probably about 100 miles from here. And I was there, and I was just hanging out, doing nothing, had nothing to do, and try to find some fun. And I ended up seeing some truck drivers down there in the market in the city, and I didn't hitchhike necessarily. I didn't put up my thumb, but I just went by and asked them. I said, "Hey, where are you guys going? You know, you want to give me a ride?" I had never been in a Chinese truck before, and one of the guys was like, "Yeah, sure. I'm heading out tomorrow, heading out the next day, and I'm driving also to Dali, the same place I'm going today. And over there's the highway, but it's not built yet, or it's being refurbished or renovated or something, because I obviously can't drive on it. So the guy was like, "Yeah, you can come with me. Come in the morning. You can get in the car, in the truck, and ride with me. It'd be nice to have some company." And so it should be from Lincang to Dali, I think, on the highway. Should be just a few hours. It's only, like right now, I'm 172 kilometers away from Dali. So it says 3 hours on this little crap road. So yeah, we were planning to drive to Dali. He was gonna deliver some vegetables. He had a big truck full of lettuce. And so we were sitting in the front. I was sitting in the front in the cab. It was pretty cool. Never been in a truck before. We were cruising, and then the highway, probably not this highway because Lincang is half an hour or hour away, but the highway had been washed out by a landslide. There's lots of earthquakes and landslides and stuff out here. So then we had to turn back and get off the highway and go on a road just like this, a little mountain road in a big truck. And that's what we did, and we were driving through these mountain roads when we stopped for lunch in one of these little tiny towns. And when we got back in the car, in the truck, it wouldn't start. He had a problem with his truck. And like literally it was a little mountain road, a little town just like this. There's like no hotels, no nothing, just, you know, it's just a village, tiny village. And I was actually trying to get up to Dali. I was gonna spend a day there. Then I was gonna go to Kunming. I was flying to going to Kunming because I wanted to fly to Korea, South Korea. I had found a flight from Kunming to South Korea for like 200 kwai, like $30 somehow. So I was like, I'm just gonna go. And so I wasn't in a huge hurry because I had left like 3 or 4 days in advance because I wanted to like go on an adventure, you know, like maybe hitchhike or something, just do something dumb. So we were in this village and he couldn't get his truck fixed, and there was no buses, no taxis, of course. Like there was nothing down here. We were just sitting there. And he had to try to get his truck fixed, so he was ordering parts, and some guy said in the village said he could fix the truck, but he needed the parts. It would take 3 or 4 days, and I didn't have 3 or 4 days because I had to get to my flight. But luckily, because of the luckily I say, but probably not that lucky for the people, but because of the landslide on the highway that I think took out a few cars even, some of the buses, they rerouted themselves and were coming through the same route we were going on, which was really even smaller road than this. It was pretty brutal. It would have been a horrible bus ride for most people. So what we're doing, so I was sitting on the side of the road. I stayed one night. We found like a guest house, which was horrible. We stayed in a room together, me and the truck driver. But then the next morning I was out sitting on the side of the road just like this with my suitcase or my backpack, whatever I had, and was just waiting for anybody to take me to Dali. And eventually I found a bus did come by because they were, like I said, rerouted. And the bus offered to take me, but the bus was full. So then I had to sit on the floor of the bus, like in the steps in the front of the bus. I paid 100 kwai, I remember that. So about 15, 16 bucks to sit on the floor of the bus in a little mountain road like this for a couple hours on the way to Dali. So it all worked out in the end. I had some fun up in Dali, went to Kunming, flew to South Korea, ate some kimchi, ate some bibimbap, some kimbap, had a lot of fun, and then came back to China. So that's why this reminded me of that. Yeah, if anybody else wants to continue joining me on this drive while I drive, I'll continue to talk about it. Otherwise, see you guys later. Yeah, had fun listening to that story. So what do I want to say though? I don't know. How long has it been? I've been driving for 8 minutes. Okay. So yeah, on this road trip, let's talk about this road trip. Pretty tired. I'm ready to go back to Shenzhen. So because of the pandemic ongoing, you have to get COVID test all the time within 48 hours to pretty much go anywhere. So I've had, I guess, three COVID tests now in the last 7 days. Every 2 days or so I should probably get one today. Last one I had was on the 5th. At night, so yeah, so I should go in today. But even with the COVID test and, you know, a valid visa and passport and haven't left China for a while, you know, I don't have COVID. In Guangxi province, which is next to Guangdong, between Guangdong and Yunnan, I encountered some problems. Like they wouldn't let me go places. And I understand they want to control the pandemic. Makes sense, but like they let like the Chinese people through, which is, I mean, it's China. This is normal, but kind of annoying because I wanted to go to a place with Vietnamese food down on the Vietnamese border, and they wouldn't let me go. And they try to say, oh well, all the Vietnamese restaurants are closed anyway because all the Vietnamese people are gone. But that's not really true because a lot of the ethnic minorities, they're basically Viet people, and they're living in China. They're Chinese by passport, so I don't think they're just closing all their restaurants down because the border's closed. But they said, oh, you can't go because you can't eat Vietnamese food anyway, they're closed down. So they stopped me. A few places I couldn't go, had to make a U-turn, but it's all good. So I'm just gonna head up here to Dali, maybe go to Shashi, which is a really nice old town as well, and then I'm gonna turn around and go back to Shenzhen. Probably take me another 5 days to get back to Shenzhen. China's a really, really, really big country. Very, very big country. I'm envious kind of people who live in like small country and they can see everything. Oh, come on, buddy. So what is this place? Garbage dump. Wow, nice. Recycling center, garbage dump. Yeah, this is pretty much the village. It's not the same village, but it looks like it. I just sat on the side of the road and waited for a bus to come that day 4, 5, 6 years ago. 2016, I think. It sucked. Although this one looks a little bit bigger than the other one, because this one looks like it has probably has some hotels and maybe some motels, some Holiday Inn. What's this guy doing? So let's see what kind of industry this place has. I got a lot of farm goods, looks like soybeans and stuff. Here's construction materials. It's like a lot of wholesale construction. What else? Construction. So apparently this town has full of builders, or people providing material for builders, for people who are building their homes on the mountains, I suppose. Here's a cute, typical Yunnan man with his little hat on. Yunnan Yeye always wear the little hat. So cute. Beautiful views, beautiful mountains. I would like to thank my first subscriber to Patreon. Very kind of you. Really appreciate that. If anybody else wants to join, feel free. Once again, there's no exclusive benefits, just support me. If you want to know why, you can go to Patreon and read about it. So if you've never been to China and you want to come to China in the future when everything opens back up. This guy's trying to pass me. If you want to come to China when everything opens back up and you're thinking about where should you go, I would recommend, definitely if you're more of like it's your first time in China and you're a little bit more adventurous than the typical people, you come to Dali. Dali is far away from everything, but it's beautiful, and you're gonna see that today. But you can come to China. You go to Shanghai, go to Beijing. But once you see it in a couple Chinese cities, you've seen them all, pretty much, for the most part. And then so after that, you want to go somewhere a little bit more unique, special, something that you can tell people like, I've been to China, but it's still pretty comfortable, still pretty normal, and has a lot of tourists and everything. So you'll be safe and you can read all the signs. And you come to Dali. And they have flights. They have direct flights from Shanghai and Beijing and everywhere directly into Dali. So that's good. One of the great things about China is how many airports there are. Even small cities you can fly into. I feel like in America, especially, only cities have airports. Only big cities. I mean, like small cities have airports, but they're not convenient to fly to. like my hometown in Modesto, we have an airport, but really it's just like tiny private planes and a few small commercial planes. It just makes more sense to drive to Oakland or San Francisco or San Jose. Whereas in China, you can be in a small city and have access to an airport. Of course, not all small cities, but a lot of them, especially if they have any sort of tourism industry. So something like Dali, Lijiang, I think they both have airports. I'm pretty sure Lijiang has an airport too. You can always fly to Kunming and take the high-speed rail to Dali and Lijiang. Lots of opportunities to travel. Just gotta open up this country back up. But this road sucks. I always talk about how good the roads are in China, but that's mainly highways and city roads. Once you get into the countryside, you start to deal with some crap. I think we're about to get back on the highway, so that'll be very good news. We'll see. Once I get back on the highway, I'll say bye-bye. So just like America, these brown signs, they're like national parks and scenic spots and stuff. This one has a valley, and a tourism village. A lot of people around here. Quaint mountain town. So one thing I would say about Chinese small towns and villages like this, they don't have any like, I just wish one town, one village in China would like take on a model of like a European village or an American village, where like they make like the main street really nice. I know it's, you know, different cultures and there's so many reasons why I can't even get into it, but if they would just make like a really nice like main street with like restaurants and shops and hotels, probably nobody would come in China because people don't want to come to a village like this. But it might be worth trying. I don't know. I would love to stay in a little mountain village that's just like one street, one main road, and some industry for people who want to come and visit. But instead it's all just hyper local, tiny street. Okay, here we go. Go this way. I have ETC card, so we'll just pop right on in here. Boom, boom, boom. Let it read it. And we're open and we're good to go. We're back on the highway. But yeah, I wish like there would be a, you know, I don't want a Denny's or like a diner or something, but you know, make like a B&B and make some stuff. I don't know. All these towns are just like abandoned to their own devices, and there's no reason for anybody to ever go unless they're from there. But even then, people don't want to go. They just want to leave. But they can be like set in a beautiful location in the mountains, in a valley, in the hills. I wish some like enterprising government official would make a little quaint mountain village for all the people to visit, spend their money. Now we're back on the highway. I put on my autopilot, go up to 110, which is the speed limit. Alright, here we go. We're off. So thanks for joining me on this trip. I hope I didn't completely bore you. I hope you got to enjoy a little bit of Yunnan through the eyes of a GoPro in a top of my head in the EC6 NIO. And a little bit tired here this morning. I slept in the car last night. It was really cold. It's 5 degrees right now. Last night it was probably 3 or 4. All right, bye-bye. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.